Welcome to my studio. Graeme Stevenson here, guys. The reason I use Atelier Interactive is because they're richly pigmented and light fast, with a smooth buttery consistency that dries to a beautiful satin finish. They're wonderful colours, and they really maintain the intensity of their pigment as well. The speed and simplicity of this acrylic is quite extraordinary. I'm actually going to be working on this particular piece here, and I'm actually going to paint just this particular face, show you some of the techniques. I'm going to be using the slow medium, which I use in here, that really just sort of stops it from going off too quickly, which enables me to feather the edges and to really blend the piece a little bit better than you normally would. So I'm going to squeeze out some of my Payne's grey, just a little bit of the brilliant magenta. Still, once again, you can actually see it really holds its shape quite well. I generally just use, say, 7 or 8 colours, but there is just such a huge range of these colours, particularly if you're a student or even a beginner, and you're really not too sure about your colour wheel. This is a great way to go. But I should say I do insist on people learning their colour wheel and learning how to use the basic colours as well. So I'm just going to take a little bit, I'm going to basically just mix some of these colours out. As you can see, I mean, it really is, it's just the consistency of it is just wonderful. These are Venetian masks, of course, that I'm painting, which are sort of fairly popular in the market that I work with in the United States. Slow medium, Atelier slow medium. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit of this on top of here as well, just put it in there, and what that's going to do is it's going to enable me to manoeuvre this colour a lot more than I would normally be able to. So I'm just going to roll that in there, and it doesn't get too wet. So as I said, with that slow medium in there, I'm going to be able to go to the canvas now, and I'm going to work on this particular face right here, and roll my brush around, really pick that pigment up, and as you can see, it still goes on lovely and smooth. And I sort of drop the brush in, and instead of sort of pushing the brush down, I'm dropping the brush down and then bringing it up again, as though it's like landing an aeroplane. I've also got the reflection underneath here, because I'm going to build this up. I'm going to put some layers of colour and shape in there. Bring it up, because I want that warm edge in there. As you can see how it's really holds its form quite well all the way through. I do use a lot of these bases to build up, as you can see in these areas here, even where I've actually used a squeeze bottle. Now, the squeeze bottle itself here, I've actually used these little bottles. And this has actually got the rich gold, the Chroma rich gold in it. And I basically, in doing that, I can just squeeze the colour out, and there you go. And as you can see, it sort of dries fairly flat once it dries. But it's a great little technique, and I use that quite a lot as well. I've used the modelling compound that you can actually get from Chroma for this particular area here, and I've drawn a circle, sealed it off with some masking tape, and actually got the end of the brush, which brought all of these other colours up underneath. So you could actually do like a mosaic if you wanted to, right across a painting. And then what I've done then is I've gold leafed over the top into these areas, but I just wanted that white to poke through as well. I thought that was quite nice. But just once again, just giving you a different effect. So what I've done here is I've actually taken a little bit more Payne's grey and just grabbed some of the red, and I'm wanting to sort of highlight certain areas within the picture. I'm going to bring that down to there, and I'm going to start to, as you can see, you can still blend this because that slow medium's in there. And if I wanted to, if it's not going exactly the way that I want, I can actually use some of the unlocking formula. What this does is if your paint starts to go dry, if the smooth medium is actually starting to wear out a bit and the paint's actually starting to go a little dry, you can use the unlocking formula to go back in on the picture. So what I normally do with mine is, you've got a spray bottle, and I actually pour some of the unlocking formula in to the spray bottle like so. A little bit of water in there as well. What I've actually done there is I put some impasto gel down on this beforehand just to sort of pick it up a little bit, but you can see with the gel on the top there how shiny the pictures actually come. It's really intensified the colour of the acrylics, which is great because once you use your varnishing mediums and your satin varnishes later on, you've got glosses and satin varnishes, but it really picks up these colours. I mean, you can just see from the red from there to say here, it just basically jumps out at you. It's quite extraordinary. But this one here, I can actually just unlock it, and you can actually see as it comes in there, it's actually sort of unlocking the paint. And then from there, I just put that down there. And it's going to enable me to literally continue to work and then flow that across. Still being able to blend that. I'm just sort of feathering the brush as I go along, just sort of dabbing it in, but you can still see that it's still being blended in there quite effectively. A little bit more of that again, slow medium, because I'll go back into my white again, and I'll pick that up and bring it back to the other place now. So what I'm doing is I'm going back and forth. A little bit more white, so a little bit more slow medium, and as you can see I can go back into that area now and I can take the colour back in there and actually have that gradation that I need. There it is there. Then what I do is I get a little bit of the darker colour and I come back over the top of that one again. So it just helps me to gradiate where I'm going with all this. That's it. Even in this area here, it maintains its integrity all the way as it comes back over. And particularly with white, it's really difficult to do because just about every other colour tends to show through. But these guys, like I said, seem to hold the integrity in the paint quite well. I'm just going to take a little bit of time now, and I'll continue to do some work on this picture, and we might be able to let you see how it sort of morphs into play. But I'll be just using these various mediums to get where we need to go with that. Might try and do is that we have another medium that we can use, and I wanted to see this area here. It's just gone. It's really not sort of doing quite what I want it to do. So I want to round that out and put a little bit more of that warmth in there. So I'm going to use the unlocking formula again. As I said, I put some water and the unlocking fluid into the little spray jar, and my colour here, my orange from my glaze, has just started to go a bit dry. So I'm just going to give that a quick burst. The bottom line is that that'll just reactivate the colour again. Get some of my clear painting medium, which is really great for glazing. Just pour some of it into here, okay? And this is going to enable me to thin the paint out, but still keep the intensity of the pigment that I need for here. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of that onto this surface here. I'm going to take this colour that I've got here, the one that I revitalised, and just mix it. Beautiful. It's not picking up the other colour. It's just simply giving me that real soft orange glaze, which is really picking up the light or the red of all the other colours that will be around this when I continue to work it. Into there. Voila, a Venetian mask.